St. John Cantius was born in Poland in, I think, the year 1390. He was a very bright and intelligent young man. He became a priest and served very well as a pastor. He taught scripture, very learned, and he had a great devotion to the poor. He made 4 pilgrimages to Rome on foot, and every time he walked, and he carried his luggage on his back. On one of those trips, he was accosted by a group of robbers, and they took his satchel in which he had his money, and they took it all, and then they said to him, "Do you have any more money?" He said no, and with that, they just let him go on his way. Well, he had only left them a short distance, and he remembered that he had some gold sewn in his cloak. And so he hurried back to the robbers, and he said, "I hope I can have your forgiveness." He said, I lied to you. He said, "I do have some gold in my cloak," and he started to give it to them. They were so astounded by it that they gave him all of his money back. I mean, how often do you ask a robber to forgive you because you didn't give him everything? But that's the way that somebody who's truly a follower of Christ would act. Today, the Feast of Christ the King, we see in the gospel that Pilate has Jesus before him, and Pilate is preparing to condemn him to death. And so he's questioning Jesus. Jesus so turns it around, though, that Pilate becomes the one on trial. When he asks, "Are you a king?" and Jesus says, "You say I am," and he speaks of his own kingdom. His kingdom, though, is not of this world, as he says. It is not of this world. I came to testify to the truth, and the truth belongs to whoever listens to my voice. In the preface today, we'll hear that Jesus' kingdom is a kingdom of truth and life, a kingdom of holiness and grace, a kingdom of justice, and peace. And that's what Jesus' kingdom is about, of justice, truth, and peace. So whenever you and I live telling the truth, like St. John Cantius, we're serving Christ, telling the truth at all costs. Sometimes it's difficult, but it's always better when we tell the truth. And if it's a kingdom of life, our world has such disrespect for life in so many ways today. It's been going on for a long time. Whenever we try to promote the dignity of all human life, from conception to natural death, we are serving Christ, the King of all people. We're a kingdom of holiness and grace. By coming here to Mass tonight, you're serving Christ by coming here to Mass and growing in holiness. He is the one who makes us holy, and he does it through his sacramental life of the church. Whenever we are honest with our neighbors and just in serving them, we are serving Christ. And whenever we are peaceful, if we can promote peace around us, among our families, friends, co-workers, whoever it may be, we're serving Christ, who is the King of peace. And all those things at the end of a liturgical year, which is this weekend, we need to look back and say, am I closer to Christ's kingdom today than I was 1 year ago today? And hopefully we are. Hopefully if we have followed Christ's life as we hear it through the whole liturgical year, and if we've tried to imitate Jesus in our own personal lives, then we are in a better place and the world is in a better place. Next Sunday is the first Sunday of Advent, and we'll start the cycle all over again as we prepare to celebrate the Feast of Christmas. And God continues to give us opportunities year by year, month by month, decade by decade, gives us the opportunities to become more like him. So today, hopefully we can say, yes, the Lord is King of my heart. He's King of my life. I place him first in all things. That's what the Feast of Christ the King calls us to reflect upon. Let Christ be first in our lives in all things that we say and that we do.